Hey everybody, PIC TV Network. We're here with Bishop C. Anthony Muse, Senator Bishop. When your position takes place, what are you going to do for the people?
Number one, I want to continue with the expungement bill. Let me just start with some of the things that are affecting us in everyday life. Some of the things affecting us in everyday life. There are people who have messed up in life, and all of us have messed up at times, and some didn't even mess up. They were just caught up in an unjust criminal system, investigation system. They've had now records for 20, 30, and 40 years.
Wow.
Never able to expunge them. I wrote the article in the bill to have them so that now hundreds of thousands of people can be expunged, can have their records expunged.
Wow.
Even after having it for 30 years and have done extremely well. I'm going to continue to work also on my tax credits and tax refund for seniors who are living in their homes. And their homes, they paid for their homes, they've been in them for 25 or 30 years, and now they have to move out of their homes because on their pension, the taxes are now higher, if equivalent to rather, and higher than their mortgage used to be.
Wow.
I want to have it so that when seniors reach a certain age and they've been in their homes for a certain amount of time, that their taxes no longer increase, they remain at that level, wherever that level is, as long as they are in that house. And I want tax credits for renters out there. Many seniors who are not living in their homes, they are renting. And in terms of renting, the rent are as high as mortgages. We got to be able to give back to our seniors a lot more than what we have done, because they are the ones who have given their tax money to this county and this state all of these many years. When it comes to education, I think financial literacy, I have it in my district, I got it in my district. But now I want financial literacy in all of our schools. I want our kids graduating, and those that they are now giving this certificate of completion, saying, oh, you didn't meet the criteria for graduation, but we're giving you a certificate of completion, as many people are around this country. No, what they should do, we should be made to teach them a skill, a life skill that they can work with, because taxes were paid for them to go all the way through school, to be successful, and either through social promotion, we just promoted them straight through and did not adequately prepare them. I want to prepare our kids for life, not just to get a piece of paper to hang up on their wall. Yes, I think we can do it. So those are some of the reasons that I'm running. I'm also running because I believe that in our county, period, when it comes to minority participation, we give between 1% and 3% of billions of dollars to businesses that are black, brown, and minority. And what we want to do is to make sure that we can get that up to 25, 30, or 40%, because we're not the minority in this county, and we shouldn't be treated as such. Businesses, we should have a Black Wall Street right here.
Wow.
We should have a Black Wall Street making many millionaires every year of those that are doing the work and do the work, but are presently shut out by a few companies who now run this county when it comes to contracts. I want it ended. I want it ended now, and that's why I'm running, and that's why I would like to have your vote. If you live in the 26th district, that's why I want your vote.
And Senator Muse, I have been knowing you for 20 years. I want to ask you a couple of questions. You represent the clergy, and you opened up your doors for us to come to the house and fellowship. This is not new. Annapolis is not new to you. The National Harbor is not new to you. Everything that's developed in the last 20 years is not new to you. And I want to thank you for helping to build PG County. I'm a resident. I've been living here for 25 years and known you personally. Can you talk about why is it important for you to help the senior citizens? A couple of years I'll be up there.
It is extremely important because, number one, again, they deserve a quality of life with dignity simply because they are the seniors in our community. Before National Harbor was built, I was on the scene writing bills to make sure that they pay their fair share of taxes. Wow. It took a long time to get that passed because a lot of others who are voting on it were aligning themselves with the bigger developers. And we're giving them less of a tax rate than they did persons who are making $20,000 and $30,000 a year. They had less of a tax rate. It makes no sense, because when they pay their fair share, we can come through with some of these things that we want to do for seniors and youth and persons who are coming out from incarceration, and they need to have a life skill so that we don't have to take care of them again in the system. They can now take care of themselves. There's so many things that we can do that will be the right way, but our seniors have been there for us, and we ought to be there for them. They should not be 95 years old worrying about whether or not they're going to be thrown out of their house. It's wrong. I want it stopped.
You know, and speaking of that, Senator Muse, I know Mother Muse and Mother Evans, my wife, Mother Edwards, who are seniors now. And you to be there for them, it puts a smile on their face when they hear you say that. It makes them feel so happy when you hear them say that, when they hear you say about helping them. Because at this point in their life, they need all the help they can get.
That's right. That's right.
You know?
That's right. They need all the help they can get. You know why? Because they've given us all the help that we needed when we were growing up, and they were the ones who were providing for us, because they were the ones who were working. They were the ones who were coming home with salaries and taking care of all of us. You don't abandon them. In Africa, the elders are never abandoned. The elders are held in high esteem. The elders are taken care of. And we ought to be able to do the same thing here. And when people say we don't have the money, I tell them that's absolutely not correct. When you look at the budget and where we're wasting money, yes, we do have the money. And lastly, if we can tell people I'm going to raise your taxes and so you all ought to tighten your belt, we ought to tell the county and the state, you tighten your belt because you have more than we have. That's how I want to address this.
You know, Senator Muse, you know, PIC TV Network, our African American Network, right here in PG County. I birthed this 2 years ago, and basically we have a public officials channel. That's why I wanted you to come on to talk to the people. You know, I see you out here mixing and mingling, shaking hands, and folk loving you.
It's
you know,
part of my job.
Yeah,
That's
and
part of my job to be out here with the people.
And to know that you are on the field. You know, you're out here with people. But how do you feel about a African American television network with 60 channels on in PG County?
I think that is not only amazing. I think that knowing that industry and knowing something about it, we historically for many years we've been shut out of that community. Let's just be honest. We've been shut out of that community. That's why we don't get our history told as it should be told. That's why people aren't telling the truth about what we are doing as an African American people. That's positive. We get all the negative. I think that we have to have this. We have to have PIC TV so that together with PIC TV, we're able to now get the story out. What they won't teach in classrooms, let's now deal with it through this medium. I support you. I support what you do. I support it for black people because there's so few networks, agencies that are telling the story rather than reshaping the story to fit the American narrative. That's why I support it.
You know, and before we close today, folks, you're watching PIC TV Network, special exclusive with Senator Muse. Let's talk about Annapolis. When you go to Annapolis, you've been there many times. When you sit in those big meetings, how does it feel to represent us as an African American and everybody? Senator Muse.
I have sat in those meetings for many years. I spent 4 years in the House. I spent 12 years in the Senate, and in all the years that I spent in the House and in the Senate, the one thing that we did do was to not just sit in the room, but to advocate. To sit in the room and to hear them not just big deals, but to say where are our people when it comes down to what you are doing. I've sat in those rooms on behalf of our people. I've been ostracized, criticized, and all else because I am a person who will not be bought out. I will not sit down and just say I'm not a yes man. I stand up for the people who sent me in. They sent me there to do a job for them, and whether it's in the back room or the State House room, I'm going to do what is right for our people. So you sit there and you hear the real heart of some people. And the real heart is not to do anything for people. It's to build up their own empires and build up their own friends rather than build up the community in which we serve. That's what we're looking for.
Thank you, Senator Muse. Hey, we're going to come back after this break. You're listening. Let's get out here and vote. The man is right here. He's going to do it.